Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Nobody 2, starring Bob Odenkirk, Christopher Lloyd. Bob plays a dad who's secretly an assassin and spy, and takes his family on vacation. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 17, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, this is, I mean, you could call it John Odenwick. Ha! It's basically a parody of Vacation when you get right down to it. Odenkirk's back as his character from the first Nobody movie. His family has moved. Christopher Lloyd has moved. And, I don't know, he's gone back to killing people, I think. But his wife is putting up with it. What's the name from the Wu-Tang Clan is also back. And, they've resettled, but Bob is busy with his new job, which I assume is killing people again. I don't know. And so they decide, August 15th, by the way, this will be a good summer movie. He decides to take the family on vacation. Well, he just so happens to take them to a southern town with an amusement park, and he gets into a fight with the locals because the locals push around his kids. And he does what he does. He beats everybody up, gets arrested by the cops, and then it turns out the cops are crooked, and it's an old bootlegger thing. Say this is his buddy, tells him the info. It's an old bootlegger line that they now use for drugs, and this is the baddie. Is that Sharon Stone? It might be. Let's see. That would make sense. See, they're up in the ante pretty good on this, I gotta say. Nobody 2. Who's the baddie? It is Sharon Stone. Okay. I thought so. Oh, Michael Ironside is in it. Which one was he? So you got a lot of people in this. Christopher Lloyd, of course. Colin Hanks. Also in it. Oh, he's one of the cops, I think. He always plays a cop. Yeah, so a lot of familiar faces in this one. Directed by Timo. Wow. Tajanto. Writers Umair Aleem, Derek Kolstad, and Bob Odenkirk. It definitely has Bob's style, I think. That is Sharon Stone. Okay. Is that Michael Ironsides? No, he's got to be up there, Michael Ironsides. Michael Ironsides, of course, famous for playing a baddie. So, yeah, so it's about taking the family on vacation, and it's a parody of Vacation. National Lampoon's Vacation. They even play the song in it, which is kind of funny. So first act, we reestablish Bob and the family and what happened since the first movie. They've resettled. Bob, I think, has gone back to his old ways of committing murder, I guess, for the U.S. government or whatever he used to do. I don't know. There's a scene in an elevator with him that might happen later in the movie. Or he got another job, some random job, but it's a lot. So the family wants to be together, go on vacation. So they go on vacation to this place. What, Joan? I know. You don't like it when I put you on the chair, but we have to do a video. So they go on vacation, and at first it's fine. Everybody's having a good time. But then something happens at the arcade, as it always does. Come here. Pain in the ass. Something happens at the arcade, and the son protects the sister, and then Odenkirk tries to de-escalate, but he ends up beating everybody up. This, of course, sparks more retaliation, and it just goes back and forth until it escalates all the way up to the drug kingpin, which is Sharon Stone. And in one scene, she orders everybody to just kill these people, scorched earth, because that's a reasonable reaction. But it's a fun movie that way. So then Odenkirk kills everybody, and Christopher Lloyd helps. And what's the name from Wu-Tang Clan is also there to help too. He pulls out a sword at one point, a katana, and I assume goes to town. So, yeah. So this is being, I think this is being teed up as a series. I really do. So that they're going to keep doing this as a franchise until it peters out, and then they'll go right into a series. They'll recast everybody, and that'll be it. It'll be John Wick with a family. That's basically what this movie is. John Wick with a family, Joe. The Wick family. It's okay. I like this premise better than the first one. The first one, I liked it, but it was a little too derivative and repetitive and didn't really give me all the details I wanted. This seems to be at least a little different. The setup's a little different, although they have kind of done it before. They did a similar movie with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. It was kind of like this, and then they've done these movies before, but like sort of a direct kind of vacation parody, not really. So that helps it a lot, makes it funnier and fun. That is what I think Odenkirk is best at. He's very funny. He should be doing comedy. So, as we transition out of the Dark Ages, perhaps this could basically be an action comedy, sort of hidden in the tropes of the John Wick, and they could get funnier and more ridiculous. But that will hinge upon being able to explain why Odenkirk was an assassin to begin with. Right? They kind of explain some of that, but they don't really explain his organization and why everybody around him is still, a great guy who does what he does. They all quit the organization. Everybody develops. This is a weird thing about Hollywood. They have this idea that assassins go into the life of murdering people, and then they get out of it because they feel bad, but they still have these superhuman abilities to kill people, which they then use for good. And this has happened so many times, you would imagine that, every state had like 50 to 100 of these guys just sitting around going, oh, glad I don't have to kill people anymore. But if I have to, I will. Because I still have those skills, and I could use them in other ways, too, that are very clever. Yeah, that's part of the problem, that this trope has been used so many times in so many different movies. It makes it less special. If this had dropped in the 90s, oh, man, people would have went bananas for it. Because it would have been... it still wouldn't have been that new, but it would have been pretty fun. It also would have been even funnier in the 90s, so... I would probably see it. I don't know if I'd go to the theater for it. Here's the write-up. Sometimes the most dangerous place for a dad is a family vacation. See, they're accessing the dad angle, which is a good idea because that makes the movie different. Or rather, more different. Again, they have done this angle, kind of. Bob Odenkirk returns as a suburban husband, father, and workaholic assassin, Hutch Mansell, in the new chapter of Nobody, the hit 2021 bare-knuckle action thriller that opened #1 at the U.S. box office. 4 years after he inadvertently took on the Russian mob, Hutch remains $30 million in debt to the criminal organization. He is working it off. Oh, okay. In an unending string of hits on international thugs. Okay, well that tells me a little more. Okay, it's weird. So he's working it off for the Russians then? Much as he likes the slam bam action of his job, Hutch and his wife Becca, international Emmy nominee Connie Nielsen, find themselves overworked and drifting apart, so they decide to take the kids on a short getaway to Wild Bill's majestic Midway and water park, and the one and only place where Hutch and his brother Harry, RZA, went on vacation as kids. They're brothers? How are they brothers? He's black. Are they adopted? One of them adopted? You mean brothers like brothers in arm? With Hutch's dad, Christopher Lloyd, in tow, the family arrives in the small tourist town of Plummerville. Plummerville is Somerville, haha, eager for some fun in the sun. But when a long summary. But when a minor encounter with some town bullies yanks the family into the crosshairs of a corrupt theme park operator and his shady sheriff, that's Colin Hanks, Hutch finds himself the focus of the most unhinged, bloodthirsty crime boss he or anyone has ever encountered, Sharon Stone. Well, that's a good role for Sharon Stone, I think. She can kind of play that role. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But it does, I'm going to say this. They got to focus on the comedy and the action heavily. And they seem to be doing that. Because the actual nuts and bolts of this thing undermines Hutch. Because if Hutch is still an international assassin, the whole point of the first movie was he left that to be a family guy. And now he's still an assassin. So, kind of doesn't have a problem with killing people, which kind of undermines his character somewhat. Not enough, like you can still be on board with him because he's there to protect his family. But, and they can arrange his assassinations to the point where he's only killing guys that deserve it. And you can get away with it in a movie. In a show, in a series, I think that would, after a while, be too much. But, yeah, so he's working off his $30 million debt. How? Like $1 million a hit? I don't know. Anyhow, Nobody 2 drops in August. I think it'll be a fun summer flick. It's got a little momentum behind it. People like the first one. So I think it'll do good, and it's a good time for it to drop in the summer. I mean, that's towards the end of the summer, mid-August, but, people are still down the shore, and still like to, relax, go see a movie in an air-conditioned theater. So, yeah, this could do okay. Yeah, and again, I would watch it. All right, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. Thursday, I'll be at the Farmstead, where I'll be talking about the Legends of the Pine Barrens at 6:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.